Aha! There's that tiny little head.
Peeking out there.
Yeah, there's a particular arrangement that this somehow all works in.
At least you look like my tumor head.
Ooh, little tumor head.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to a nostalgic bowl of dude soup. We got our baby boy back. Joel Rubin's here.
Joel Rubin.
How you doing, Joel?
It feels like it was just 3 months ago I was. Oh, right.
Yeah, because it was only 3 months.
And we back in the old set too. Got tired of sweating. Got tired of equipment going missing, breaking, being misconfigured, put in the wrong spot. Oh boy, what a variety of enjoyable issues. Now we just have to worry about people getting in front of the camera properly.
That's not that bad at all.
No, it's actually pretty solvable in the moment.
It gets like 85, 86 degrees when we're recording a podcast out there.
It doesn't look like it, and in fact, I had requested right before this setup. Well, I didn't request. I said that I was sad that I'm still not going to be on the couch. I'm never going to be able to experience the
Have
new
you never done the
dude
couch?
soup. I've never done it.
Wow.
Yeah. But I like this. I like that you bring it back home for me.
We like doing it for you like this.
Well,
Thank
it gets really hot out there, and that's saying a lot because you can feel how balmy it is in here.
Yeah,
It's very
like,
muggy today.
It's like 71 in here, but it gets 85, 86 degrees. We're always sweating our balls
Some
off.
poor listener in Australia being like, the hell are you talking about?
We're in a different room, audio-only listeners. I'm your host, Lawrence Sontag. Thank you for joining us today. Joined by other illustrious Dude Soup luminaries is Bruce Green.
Hello.
Adam Kovic.
Yo.
Hello.
And Elise Willems.
Hello.
James is not here because he's on CCTV right now.
Couch Shop podcast.
Oh boy, sorry, I had to pack back a salad right before we went live.
That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to cram a bunch of food in your face.
Yeah, right before you do a professional
Of all
show.
the people, I relate to Lawrence the most.
Yeah. Well, some people would say that.
There's a
Set's
comment.
the problem. The set's the problem.
Yeah. Why is the show not doing well? Well, maybe get to that later. Who knows? This episode is brought to you by two very fine sponsors, Dollar Shave Club and Stitch Fix. For a limited time, new Dollar Shave Club members can get your first month of the Executive Razor and a tube of Dr. Carver's Shave Butter for only $5 with free shipping by going to dollarshaveclub.com/dude. And you can get started at Stitch Fix by going to stitchfix.com/dudesoup to get an extra 25% off your Stitch Fix when you keep all 5 items in your box. But we'll learn more about those later. If those pique your curiosity. I hope it will maintain for the next 20 minutes. Other news, what are you guys up to? Oh yeah, we're playing Sundered, which is a video game.
Lawrence says is what we're up to.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're talking about this podcast. I'm very excited to
Who wants to play a video game?
be
Elise,
thrown for a
maybe?
loop or to talk out of my
help
ass
it.
about something I
Joel,
don't
you
know
gonna
Maybe
have
Laura will
kids?
about. Probably, yeah.
So I've been thinking about it. My sister came over for the weekend, and like
I wasn't at your house this weekend.
you were with your dog, and
At least keep saying she's your sister, and
I
I'm not
know.
sure why.
I'm like a
Weird.
sister to him.
I guess.
He's not like a brother to me, but I'm.
But
like
she's 17-ish. Like it was kind of like having a kid over, right? And it's like I don't know if I could do this full time. But
Well,
then,
good
like,
news, you're not going to have a 17-year-old.
one day,
You'll be dead.
I know. Thanks, Elise.
No, you want to have a kid, though, at the perfect time. A study just came out that sperm count across the world is way down by like 50%.
Really?
So it might not even be a problem for you.
Man, I gotta start using
wow.
unprotected sex.
That's because you guys aren't masturbating enough. Remember your
Wait,
study, Bruce?
what?
That
Wait.
men need to ejaculate
raises
like
sperm
32
count?
times a month.
Men need to ejaculate 21 times a month in order to keep their sperm count up.
Are you 21 times?
Okay, so I
How
should
much, like-
slow down.
Joel, is that number really?
Joel's gonna become a house
How
husband.
busy are you,
so he
dude?
can
How much? I got a life. I can't ejaculate that much.
You're between seasons.
Oh, right. I don't have a job right now.
So wait, okay. When you wake up in the morning, do you play Marvel Puzzle Quest or do you rub one out?
You could do both, by the way.
I roll over, I nuzzle my wife lovingly,
Oh, jeez.
and I say,
Ow.
"Hey, baby, I'm gonna rub one out while I play Marvel Puzzle Quest."
Wow.
Wow.
What a lover.
What a
I thought you
helpless
recapped to her
romantic.
what you read to her in Harry Potter the night before.
She has zero attention span.
Wow. So she said yes
Yeah.
when you asked her to marry.
Wait. So
her.
so are you are thinking about? But so
I mean, the biological thing is kicking in now because it's like you're at that age where you're like,
Ow.
I don't want to be a 55-year-old dad at graduation, but I guess that's less weird.
It'll be less weird by the time everyone else will also be a 55-year-old dad when you are a 55-year-old dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll be a good-looking 55-year-old dad, so it's fine.
I suspect there will be a division. There will be like a bunch of teen moms, and you'll have nothing to do with them because you'll hate them because they're young and you hate the young.
Yeah.
You know, the royal you. Everybody hates the young. except for the young. And then also, you will be a wise parent. You will have waited until you're old and seasoned enough to not repeat the cycle of failure of your parents. So you will identify with everyone else who waited until they were in their late 40s to have kids too. That's my bold prediction for you, Adam.
Okay. You're not gonna have kids, are you, Lawrence?
I don't know.
Bruce wants a gaggle of them.
I want 18 kids.
That's a lot of kids.
then-
Wow,
You gotta
You're gonna have to have
masturbate a
many
lot.
wives.
Bruce wants
that's
baseball
all right. I
team.
can do that.
How's your sperm count
Elise-
looking, Bruce?
Elise is
Whoa.
gonna happen upon an Asian child left upon her doorstep that she will adopt.
God, if we
That's
could
the
get
hope.
Asian kids, that'd be the best.
I know, but he's gonna be older than her.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
I know everyone says that you love your own child in a different way. Like once you see that child, it's on. But
That is what they say.
I
yeah.
just generally
Does
don't.
that mean you want to fuck your own baby?
No, not in that way. I just generally don't gravitate toward children. The idea doesn't really strike me as something that I crave. I don't crave it. You know.
Don't you want to teach other people to like the same things that you like? But people who are impressionable, unlike the audience who hates everything that we like.
I know a lot of people are sending me pictures of them at the Jim Henson exhibit.
Oh, yeah. Where is that Jim Henson exhibit?
I think, is it traveling? I have to look into it because I feel like there are multiple Muppet-related exhibits going on in the United States, and I'm losing track of all of them.
Look,
Yeah, it's
A, when
Muppet
it comes
fever.
to town, you better let me know. B,
Oh, yeah.
are we going to that Muppet Hollywood Bowl thing, or are you guys going to be out of town?
That is sold
I'm
out.
out of town, Joel.
Not everyone's got a season
is
pass to
this?
the Hollywood Bowl, Joel.
The Muppets are performing live at the Hollywood
Yeah,
Bowl.
I think I'm out of
I
town
know,
for
it broke my heart
Wow.
because I wanted to go to it, but then when you were like, let's go see the Muppets, I was like, Muppets with Joel, no.
These are the conversations you couldn't have if you had a child in your life. Do you see? Do you see?
But I just go
You're
to
right,
Muppets
kids
with
hate
Joel.
Muppets.
It would be an ordeal.
You can't take a kid to see Valerian. It's too adult for them, I think.
Well, that's of all the reasons to have a child. You know, the illusion of cheating death being paramount. I imagine that
What?
being able to run a number of sociological experiments on a tiny version of yourself would be very interesting.
I mean, they're not an experiment, Lawrence.
Yeah, these are
They're
humans.
a human being.
I mean, fine, call it parenting. I'm gonna call it an experiment.
So wait, what are you gonna do to
Bad
your
kids.
kids, your theoretical child?
He's got a box he's going to lock them in where they
Yep.
have no sensation, no exposure to any elements.
Right.
He's going to call it a Lawrence box. And then when the kids hit 18, he's going to let them open out of that box and
Okay.
see what happens.
Maybe
Okay.
they'll figure out how to talk on their own.
So it's like a sensory deprivation
We'll find
tank.
out.
You just
Yeah.
fill it up with
It's a
some.
Lawrence
Some people
box,
might
don't
call
call
it
it
a
that.
Skinner box. I call it a Lawrence box.
I also call it that. I don't want to get sued.
The prospect,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
unrelated.
No, that's totally
That's fine. None of this is related.
I was gonna say the prospect of having a human life that ultimately turns out to be a nightmare individual is really terrifying to me.
Yeah, some kids are just motherfuckers.
Like, well, or they become just a shitbag adult, and
Yeah.
that's terrifying to me.
and where do you draw the line between, oh, did I fuck it up, or is he just an asshole? I
Well,
like how-
nothing is your fault. That's what I've learned.
as a parent,
Yeah.
As a human.
Yeah, that's the right way to lead your life as an adult.
As a big shot Hollywood
Nothing is
writer.
my fault.
Well, okay, so I've seen it. I see both sides of it. There's the kid who's raised in poverty and things are tough, and so they have to kind of be scrappy, and then they become well-nurtured adults, basically, because they're like, okay, I know what it is I know the value of $1. I keep my place clean because I've never owned my own place, and now I will carry that on. And then there's kids who are raised rich, and they just treat everyone like, if you go out to dinner and someone treats a server like shit,
Yep.
I hate that.
Yep.
It's like, really, because you've never been in that person's shoes, so you don't understand what it's like. And then I guess there's like the other side where it's the kids who get beaten and molested, and then they get kind of psychologically fucked.
It's deep.
Those are the three. So that's my Dr. Drew for you.
That's the three kinds of children in the world.
That's it. That's all you get.
Rich
Yeah.
kids, poor kids.
Yeah.
Molested kids.
You get Will
molested
Smith's kids. You get other.
Will Smith.
Oh, look at them.
I did
They're all
not expect you
crazy.
to say that.
What?
Oh, he
That's
means
so
for the
funny.
rich kids.
Are they getting less
Not the
crazy as
molested
they get
ones.
older?
I imagine you get more crazy.
I think we're just getting used to the crazy.
That could be true.
Well, hyper normalization, whatever.
Can you love an objectively unattractive child?
Yes, of course you can.
Good.
I think DNA
What
plays
are
a
you
large
talking
part
about?
in making
Bruce,
you do that.
you're a handsome man. Okay,
Am
and I
I?
know you love beauty and finery in your life. I know this of
Beauty and
you.
Finery. I eat Chipotle every day.
With your lace handkerchief, Bruce.
Yeah, what
All
are
right,
you
Joel,
talking
I
you
bring
are
my
a
fork.
Yeah,
handsome
Joel.
man.
Joel.
Yeah.
You love beauty and finery in your life. Could you love an objectively ugly child?
What is objectively?
Is it a
ugly?
boy or a girl?
Does it have superpowers?
Is it a boy or a girl? What does that
Great
mean?
question, though. No, he's right.
Well, because a
Also,
boy
it's
can
2017,
grow
you
into
can't
something.
ask.
Like, okay, so
Yeah, a boy can make something out of himself.
what did that kid from Stranger
Oh
Things
my
came
God.
out? Woo! That kid with the weird eyes and the teeth, the missing teeth.
Dustin.
Yeah. Like if that kid came out, could you love that?
I think you can. Yes, I think
I could.
I could love anybody.
I will.
You guys are mean.
We
Huh,
forgot,
no.
wait, so we talked about the archetypes of children, but we didn't discuss the ugly kids.
Right.
That's a whole other class, right? Because don't they learn to appreciate life on some other level? Like
I'm
the one that doesn't
going to
matter?
blow your mind, Lawrence. Some ugly kids grow up to be very handsome gentlemen,
yeah,
and so you can't judge them as children.
Hold on, Macaulay Culkin's
Much
taking
like
off.
you, Lawrence.
Hold on.
Lawrence, you grew
Wait
up
a
to be a
sec.
very handsome man.
We're going to pull up Macaulay.
I'm working on it.
Ooh, hot Macaulay.
Yeah,
hot
what is-
Culkin.
Well, I feel like if you have an ugly boy, the chances of him growing into like a handsome
yeah.
man, I think they increase,
Nope.
right? But
This
if,
is
you
a
have,
good one,
high.
right?
but if you have a pretty daughter, there's a good chance that like she's only got like 12 good years left.
I would, in fact, argue that having a handsome or pretty child is just like having a rich child, because then they grow up. Up with all sorts of societal benefits
that's
that
true.
they don't have to work for.
Lawrence, you were
In
talking
fact, I
about
would prefer
this.
to have an ugly child
People
because
say he's hot now.
You got to struggle.
Did you hear that? So we're going to quote that when Joel has a kid. And it comes out ugly as sin.
Bring on the baseball bats, my friends.
I think if something came out of you and Dana, it'd be
Oh, we
good
would. No,
looking.
we're gonna
Yeah.
have good-looking kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're gonna have mental issues, but they're gonna be very good-looking.
No, it actually was
wine.
was fairly interesting to me to, I mean, as a HyperX fatty and only being a marginal fatty now, there was a moment where I lost, like I seriously started dieting, and I lost like 30 pounds in a couple months, and the difference just in the quality of life I had was astounding. And I don't mean like my clothes fit, even though that was nice. No, it was more like societal shit. People smiled at me more. They were nicer to me. They acknowledged that I was in the room sometimes. People would do a little more than they had to for me, like in restaurants and stuff, and in stores.
To be fair,
really
when
weird.
Lawrence was heavier, he dressed like a bear.
I had to
Literally in a suit.
Yeah.
cover up all the
and the
lumps.
bear suit didn't fit anymore, so when he lost weight,
Yeah.
Kept luring kids to his cave.
To eat them,
And stealing honey from grocery stores.
rolling around on the ground.
Boogie's,
I've already won.
Boogie's having his gastric bypass surgery
yeah.
in like a day.
Yeah.
And I've never really watched his stuff, but I am
hopes for
curious to see, his reaction to what the fallout of that is.
do you think that will have a negative or a positive impact on his audience?
I have no idea.
Well, it's the Horatio Sands
Yeah.
school of thought.
Will you be able to play Francis, the character, anymore?
Right. It's like, and this is a real question, but it's like, does the YouTube audience relate to a large man being angry at video games, and will they not relate to someone who is a
Angry Joe was pretty svelte, and he was mad at video games.
yeah?
true.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I honestly
That
do not
sweet
know.
jacket.
Yeah, if you see your frustrations in someone else, and then maybe they no longer have those frustrations.
Once again, Horatio Sands was on top of the world, and that man
He's lost a bunch
he
of weight.
lost a lot of weight, and he's not getting roles anymore.
Well, it's because he was
I would
he was a
argue-
funny fat guy.
Yeah.
You guys are making a really profound point, and not that I'm weighing in on this in particular, but we did see a subreddit thread the other day, with some audience members sort of commiserating about how they don't quite identify with Achievement Hunter anymore, because
They're too good looking.
Yeah, too good looking. It's just more like, as I think fundamentally it's just as time goes on, people's lifestyles change and maybe they grow apart. Wherein once they were similar, but I think in that same way, as something I've concerned myself with a great deal is there is a whole lot of God, how to say it, just like normal people who just do normal people stuff, but our lives I think collectively are abnormal. Certainly mine is. I consider it that way because I get to do stuff like this. Just chill out, talk with my friends, play a game. I get to do that on the clock. Most people do that in their spare time, but I've wondered at what point my day-to-day becomes so abnormal that I lose the ability to identify with people or they lose the ability to identify with me.
Well, I mean, that's up to your perspective.
Yeah.
That's not. I mean, like, there are things that you can do that are not normal. I mean, like, you do it every day, Lawrence. Like, you record content and all that other stuff that's not what people do every day. But then it's all about your perspective.
Yeah.
All about what you kind of how you view the world. If you start viewing the world through the lens of, sorry, Joel.
No, go ahead.
If you start viewing the world through the lens of like, oh, my first class flight, like this seat sucks in first class. Like you start thinking like, wait, that's like nobody experiences.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about your monkey butler, right?
Do you hate it when he spits on you?
Well, I think you have to be subjective, and you have to know, like, in your position, what is relatable to the common man, and what is very specific to my life.
It's funny because I see a lot of whenever we discuss anything of related to politics, there's usually one or two very vociferous comments that paint us as West Coast elites that have no bearing on
Absolutely they do.
common life, which may or may not be true. I don't know, man. I just want people to have nice things.
We were at lunch and there were a bunch of birds that were like vultures over our food trying to get at it, and so Joel screamed at them. He went, "Ah!" like a Ned Stark kind of like hero. He went, "Ah!"
Like a hero.
And
Yeah,
then it
hero
sounded,
against the birds.
Get away from my truffle fries, he said.
this guy walked past us, and it sounded like he said "arrêtez," which is French for stop. But Joel went, "Oh, that homeless guy agrees with me."
He definitely wasn't homeless.
And I looked at him and I went, "Joel, that guy's not homeless." But to Joel,
But he had a beard.
to Joel, the
do
common
you.
man,
Oh, I see.
right.
the
And he's
common
one step
man
away from
is
being homeless.
clearly, Joel can't recognize. He doesn't have that filter anymore.
Listen, I try to stay humble, Occasionally I'll buy a $20 bottle of wine.
20.
Is that a lot, or
Is that low for you? That's low.
That
right?
was the
got it.
joke.
That's funny because
I mean, that was a joke, yeah, but also at the same time, I don't think he's joking.
man,
That's the problem.
Whatever, Joel. You haven't lived until you got the $6 bottle of wine off the end cap at a 7-Eleven.
My Thanksgivings used to be we would go to Trader Joe's and buy a $24 worth of $2 chuck and have a half case of a day.
And now,
drinking a
how
half case.
expensive does a bottle of wine have to be to earn a spot in the wine fridge?
Oh, well, I don't buy my own wine anymore. I have my manservant buy my wine for me.
I thought he was actually telling the truth for 1
I
second.
thought
Yeah.
it was too.
I absolutely couldn't
Little
believe
bit.
it.
I have a guy. Oh, yeah, I can't tell anymore.
No, I think the thing that causes people. I agree. I think the thing that causes people to not like forget their roots. I think that's really broad, but to slowly stop being relatable is, I agree, it's not doing normal people stuff anymore, and it's really easy to start falling into that trap of not doing normal people stuff anymore.
What's normal people stuff, Joel?
I mean, truly, like
He can't think of anything.
Like, I know plenty of people. I know plenty of people in LA who like don't pay for movies anymore.
Oh, yeah.
They're like YouTube personalities or writers or whatever, and they only go to screenings.
they don't
like
pay for
literally
coffee.
not going to a movie with regular people changes your perspective on, I think, like how people live. I genuinely believe like that's a small example of that kind of thing.
Oh, no, I agree.
Put
Like,
their
I,
fucking phones down for 5 minutes.
well, people have been tweeting. I'll say one guy tweeted me, and he's like, "Oh, I had the Adam Cove experience. Everyone had their phones out while I was watching a movie." And my thought is, it's always been that way, and people are just noticing it now.
Except for phones didn't always exist.
Well, no, but there was always.
People rustling their newspapers.
Sure. I mean, I found my first copy of Calvin and Hobbes in a movie theater after seeing the Super Mario Brothers film, which maybe those guys were trying to read it during the movie. I don't know. It was on the floor, and I
blame
found it,
them,
and
I
I took
guess.
it, and now it's mine.
Magical story. That is a magical story.
No, I don't know.
No, it is. It's a
didn't
great
have
way
a-
to discover Calvin and
I
Hobbes.
this is unrelated. This just brought up a memory, but because I've talked about on I think podcast before how like I was raised. It's an important distinction. I was raised poor. I found out later we were not poor.
Yeah, Mhm. yeah.
We were just raised poor because it was
spent
me
no
and 3
money.
other kids, and so it was always like, "Hey, can we get this?" And they'd be like, "No, can't do that," or like, "Oh, like I don't, for some reason I got shafted as a kid. I just don't think anyone liked me. But like I remember my mom took. So I don't know if I ever explained this to you guys before, but like my mom lived with her friend who was also a cop. They were both cops, and she also had 2 kids. So I lived with 2 other kids that were not my brother or sister.
It sounds
But
like
we-
a great 80s sitcom.
It was
by
really
the
weird.
way.
It was a weird situation, and it got weirder after that. But that's a whole other story. But it was like other kids were always getting favorited. So I remember, I think my mom took one of the oldest kid, his name was Matt, took him to Magic Mountain one day, took him out of school and took him out. I was like, oh, why didn't you take me, your son? And then she like took him to In-N-Out afterwards and like left the leftovers in the fridge and they were
Jesus
terrible. And I was
Christ.
like, I never got that. And so like I always felt like I was the shafted one. It was weird. And then like my brother would always get the youngest one. He'd get taken out of school for the day to come home and just like do nothing. And I was always like, I always felt like I was getting shit on. And I guess that kind of influenced me as I got older. And I just thought like, oh, I need to fend more for myself. And it was like, I didn't have an allowance. I remember we worked and they basically said, okay, do chores. This is how much money you would get. We're putting it into a pile. And then one day, Magic said, hey, we're going to the toy store. Whatever you guys want within like $50, you can get. We're like, oh my God, greatest day in the world. And they're like, oh, that was your chore money. Because I remember asking, like, what happened to that money? They're like, oh, that's the money you saved. I was like, you never told me that.
Yeah.
We sound like we had very similar upbringings because I
man.
didn't get stuff just for getting stuff, and I certainly had to do a lot at home and did not get paid to do it. It was just expected. Like, this is what you do. You don't get a reward for it.
Having friends with an allowance was weird. Where it's like,
yeah,
my dad gave me $20 for the week. That's all I got. I'm like, I found a quarter.
Yeah.
I would hoard lunch money if I ever got it.
Our allowance was a result of doing chores. If you didn't do your chores, you didn't get an allowance.
We just did chores.
Yeah. Chores was default.
We just did chores.
got to
Let me
do
be clear.
extra
Our
chores.
allowance was like, it started off when we were 5 years old at like a quarter or 50 cents, and it increased 25 or 50 cents every year. So it's not like we were getting.
You're like an employee.
Didn't you also live on a plantation in Louisiana?
I was raised a poor black child.
My start out there.
It was just I was raised. Oh, that's cool.
tentacles gotcha.
I
Just
was
got sundered.
I don't know. I feel like I just got a lot. I got psychologically beat down, also physically hit. But like, I'd get hit with belts from people who were not my dad. I was like, that's a weird way to grow up. I don't know. How you doing, Elise?
Oh,
I'm good.
Get in here.
You don't have to play, at least. I can.
It's okay. I just can't see it.
Yeah, no, I
can't see a
understand.
darn thing back here.
you guys are gonna.
Keep eyes won't.
You know what? No, you come up here.
There you go. Yeah, and Joel,
trade
go back
spots.
there.
They won't see him at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Joel will have to fill in the room with his personality.
Yep.
Which he always does.
Like
doing-
usual.
You doing a read?
Oh, hang on.
Yeah,
Do your thing.
but
I don't
in coordination with Joel's fresh new look,
This way? I haven't been able to see any other game. Do I keep going
Let's-
this way?
I don't know. Left trigger for map. There you go.
all right. In celebration of Joel's fresh grizzled new look, we implore you to revise your grooming options, you men out there, perhaps using Dollar Shave Club, which is sponsoring this episode. You can get a $15 value with our promo code by going to dollarshaveclub.com/dude, and that is the executive razor and a bottle of Dr. Carver's shave butter. So if you're not familiar with shave butter, let me wise you up to new shave tech. You may have used shaving cream in the past, which is fine, but surprisingly, it's an interesting problem that I didn't realize until you shave butter. Shaving cream is not transparent, so you can't really see what you're shaving or what you're edging if you want to get a precise shave. Shave butter is clear, and it's very smooth. It's very, it lays down flat on your skin, which makes it a lot easier to shave and allows you easier to see if you're sculpting a nice goatee or mustache of some sort. And like we said, you can get a $15 value for only $5. That gets you the weighty executive blade, full set of 4 cartridges, and a tube of Dr. Carver shave butter. I'd like to meet Dr. Carver someday. If you would like to meet him vicariously by using his shave butter, please go to dollarshaveclub.com/dude. It's all written out pretty much like it sounds, dollarshaveclub.com/dude to get that box for only $5, including free shipping. So thank you, Dollar Shave Club. And
Gracias.
yeah, it's Sundered is some kind of Metroidvania with hand-drawn graphics. Looks pretty cool.
I remember I was excited for this. Did you say you can climb, Bruce?
You can wall jump. So if you
wall
jump
jump,
off the wall,
okay,
there you
okay.
go. Yep.
Just like Owlboy.
Dude,
So-
boy, can you wall
Why
jump?
is this so hard for you?
Bruce, you were heading towards a part of the map
And
you
you're
haven't been
dead.
to yet. I don't.
Those are-
Double jump?
No.
No.
You have to get on the platforms and
Yeah,
jump over
don't
it.
worry.
Jump over
There's some spiny weeds that are blocking progress. I imagine eventually you'll be able to smack them with your scarf, and
Yeah, those spiny weeds are really hard to see in the game.
you know,
So
they don't really
they kind of blend in.
poke out so much. So Joel, I'd like to hear more tales of your life. How have things changed for you? Because you've been writing on Parker Plays, correct?
Yeah, I have. I'm done with that now.
You're a famous writer now. so
I would
what do you
say
do?
that I'm the most famous writer now.
You and Kurt Vonnegut, basically.
So the show is on Disney XD. They're doing like a sort of late night gaming programming block. It's sort of like their Adult Swim, although it's still Disney, so it's still pretty
Dumb
family
babies,
friendly.
yeah.
Tell us why we should watch the show.
Because I wrote it, and
That's
if I
not
want to
the
get a
right-
second season, people need to watch it.
No.
So-
I
Oh
want-
right,
How many other writers were on that show? I'm curious.
none.
Really?
I am the only writer that they needed.
Okay. I was just curious how,
How many
TV
other?
writing
5,
works.
6?
None.
Are you seriously the sole writer?
I'm the only writer on the show. Yeah, they can't credit me as a writer because of union rules.
Wait.
You were non-union?
Wait.
Yeah, it's a non-union
Come
show.
on.
Disney-
Disney. You said you were the writer of the show.
Wait,
but you-
Disney's airing a non-union production?
Oh heck yeah, they air a lot of non-union productions.
I didn't know that.
son.
Huh? I
Yeah.
thought that they would be
lot of
100%
thickening.
buttoned up.
He's like, I wrote the show. They can't credit me as a writer.
It says someone else's name.
So wait, did they just leave a garbage bag of like unmarked bills at your house? How did you get?
It's Disney bucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that
You got a lot of free pretzels.
the
at
Donald
Disneyland.
dollars or whatever? You can only use them.
It was really fun. So the show is it is a Let's Play kind of show starring it's sort of like a one-man band starring Parker Coppins, who is a friend of Steven Suptic's. He was in Sugar Pine 7 until his
character got killed.
Until the most well, maybe he's dead. I don't know.
I don't think so. He just hit his head.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
So yeah, go watch.
I watched it. It was really good.
Yeah, super good.
But a former Machinima guy was the showrunner for the show, and after SourceFed ended its run, he saw that I was available, so he asked me to come on board because they wanted it to feel like
as a script consultant,
as a story editor, not as a writer.
As a writer. Was your office a Starbucks with a Wi-Fi connection?
Our studio was also a Starbucks with a Wi-Fi connection.
It sounded kind of weird that you're the only writer on the show and you're not credited
As a writer.
And there's only like
So my life's going really well, Bruce. To answer your question.
how's the house?
It's good.
I like your house.
My tomatoes are coming in real nice.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. You get your garden. I forgot about your garden.
The show is super fun. It's on Disney XP Monday through Thursday at 9 o'clock. Check your local listings. Also, if you subscribe to YouTube TV, if you're in one of the markets where you can subscribe to YouTube TV, it's on there too. Oh. And yeah, I was just saying, it's like a one-man Let's Play, but also it's sort of a variety show. We do sketches, animations,
So
stunts.
he plays Minecraft, right?
He doesn't anymore, but yeah, it sort of made his name
So
playing
what games
Minecraft.
did you use on the show? I'm
We
curious.
cleared over 220 games to play on the show.
Okay.
It was a real fucking nightmare, and we used over 50 for the show. And
Okay.
it's a lot of stuff that, I mean, there are some games that we've played here, and even games that we played when I was here, but really no AAA titles on our show because for a variety of reasons. A lot of them didn't clear Disney standards and practices because they have guns or death.
Man.
But yeah, fun.
It is funny to me that how much gaming is trying to go to television right now. There seems to be a bit of money in it, and I can't tell if it's a desperation grab. Like, I don't know if it's television going, crap, we're losing a lot of audience.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Where are they? Oh, they're on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
And they say that because they're old.
I think
And so then they're trying to like get YouTube friendly personalities to be on a platform that young people don't watch anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I had no input into the programming decision of this show, or like, it was the original pilot was produced a year before I started working on it. It felt
You need to take credit for this. Someone needs to fall on the sword, Joel.
it felt to me.
He's non-credited.
It hasn't failed yet.
Yeah, he's non-credited, so that actually he never worked on the show. We didn't
I'll
talk about it.
fall on the sword, yeah, but I'll have a different title for having done that.
I was a production
Yeah.
assistant.
Alan Smithy.
It felt to me like
Joel Smithy.
half desperation of they are losing audience. All the Disney channels. There was actually an article in the Wall Street Journal a few months ago about how all Disney channels, including ESPN and ABC, are all losing audience share right now. So it was partially a result of like, what are people watching? Let's put that on. But I also think it's a good faith effort to try and say, well, our audience, our demographic likes this stuff. Let's make this stuff and see if it'll work on TV in a way that's not just. I think people have tried to do gaming on TV before. Conan's done the best because he's Conan. But
It's also
approaching
it's not
this?
the entire show.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like a
exactly. Yeah,
segment.
no,
I think they are producing it to be its own,
they are now. Yeah,
Yeah.
It might be.
But
It
without
might be online only, but I think
which
that they are
makes the
producing
most sense.
It absolutely.
Yeah,
makes
that's the weird thing about what they're doing is that they're creating brand safe content when inherently that's not at all what kids are watching these days. Not anywhere close. And that's what's it's only for the brands.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
for the advertisers.
It's not
for
for,
the
everybody
brands,
else.
which
For
is
the
then in turn for the
advertisers.
advertisers.
But also, I mean, Disney literally more than any other company on earth has a reputation, like has a brand reputation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I mean that like, you talk about any company, any brand for any product. It could be Apple or whatever, but Disney's brand reputation is family friendly.
Yeah.
And doing something that's not family friendly under a Disney brand wouldn't make sense for them. Now, they have a lot of like sub brands that.
But then they wonder why they're losing audience.
Well, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's sorry. Go ahead.
No, I mean I don't wonder why the channels are.
No, I know you
the
don't.
channels are losing audience.
You're just a production assistant.
Yeah,
I
I got a lot of coffee. I was making a lot of runs.
I just remember years ago, I went to one of Jess's friends. Went to her place. She had a young daughter. She was like, I think like 8 or 9, right? and she was just playing Minecraft on her iPad. I'm like, oh, what are you playing there? Oh, Minecraft. I'm like, oh, do you like it? She's like, yeah, it's okay. And then I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And then she like later she went to the living room. She turned off Minecraft and then put on like Stampy Longhead and then put it on the TV to watch Minecraft. And I was just like, this kid figured out what probably my grandmother couldn't do.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like they're already, the kids are savvy enough to like, the kids, they're like, an old man.
kids.
Listen, the kids, no, I don't
We
want to
still do Bill Cosby impressions.
We
with
can't
that?
Yeah, why not?
legally.
You just mentioned Valium when you
Actually,
do it.
wait, it was mistrial, right?
At least
Yeah.
found some
Yeah.
good
Okay.
things.
Hit him.
Well, it's unclear whether
Corrupted treasure?
Bill Cosby is a dirty rapist or not, but he probably is.
Probably is.
But either way, I remember seeing that and being like, well, this kid's never gonna watch TV, ever. Why would they?
Right.
They would probably lose their fucking mind if they saw a commercial
Yeah.
and be like, what is this? Why can't I skip it? Like, how do I fast forward the show? What do you mean I have to watch it at a specific time?
Well, I think even more profoundly than that, the like entertainment archetypes are different. People, I think kids are the kids. You know, they're more used to videos that start with "Hey guys, what's going on? I'm blah blah blah," like somebody talking directly to the camera. Whereas in a sitcom, somebody walks into a room, they applaud for no reason. They're like, "Hey, what you doing, Gerald? Oh, I'm just making some SpaghettiOs," and then
Yeah.
like everybody laughs.
Har, 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 har.
I think that format just
wanna watch
wouldn't
that
make
show.
sense to people.
Sounds good.
Well, Joel, if only I were a writer, uncredited.
I was talking to Raul about that a little bit, and he was talking about how like the fan bases are different.
Yeah.
And he's saying like your guys' audience is much more invested, and he's like, if I meet a Funhaus fan who's seen me in one of your videos, they're much more personable, more about it. Whereas like I meet an iZombie fan, and they're more of a passive viewer, and
They don't know the personality, Rahul. They just know Ravi.
Yeah.
he can't act for shit. He's just playing himself. So whatever. I'm being funny
know.
because
Yeah, no.
we're good,
Yeah,
because we're good
yeah,
friends, and he
we're
left
good
us for a
friends.
long time. Best
To
friends.
act.
He's doing like kind of funny
I was
today.
gonna say that.
Yes.
Oh, he drove to go see them.
Yeah,
It's
that's okay.
fine.
He
He's
loves
ours.
everybody.
It's fine.
He's ours.
Yeah, they don't get him. Anyway,
No. I mean, that's why it's one of the many reasons that gaming content and digital content specifically is so appealing, is because it does. Like, I wouldn't approach a TV actor like from a show that I really like in the same way that I would approach a digital person, because it just feels they do feel like they're normal to a certain extent, more normal people than an actor.
You can be
There's
more
just like there's
grabby
more of a
with
filter
them.
there. What?
you say you can be more grabby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Touch
With
him
the
more.
YouTube personalities, because they're like, it's just cool, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like I know you,
And if they get upset, you say it was a prank. You get it
Yeah.
because you're a YouTube dude.
and that's why I'm inside you.
Too bro.
I
I'm
wonder.
inside you. It's a prank.
I wonder. So like Disney's
Gross.
Disney's. I don't know the word progressive is good, but they seem to be with it for the most part. Like they're usually afraid of being left behind. I think that's why they bought Maker, because they're like, I don't know what this thing is, but we should buy it. And then they went, oh, this is what this thing is.
Right.
Anyway, get rid of it. So there's that. But I'm wondering, they're obviously doing the research, being like, our ratings are way down. Where we did the market research, oh, kids are watching YouTube. Okay, we'll bring those YouTube personalities to television, the platform we own, and then they're going to realize, shoot, the ratings aren't coming back, and we spent money on this thing. Then I wonder if they're going to double down on internet.
Yeah, I mean,
know.
maybe yes and no. I think it's. I think as we've talked about on this podcast, I've talked about on The Boys and I, Joel Rubin's hit podcast that he produces out of his
How
own
much
home.
shit are you gonna plug on this podcast, Joel? Jeez.
But
We have like actual celebrities on the podcast and they don't plug their shit. And then Joel comes on and he's talking about his podcast.
Talk about your
yeah,
Etsy store.
because your actual celebrities have jobs, Bruce.
That's right.
Joel, do you have a Redbubble?
No,
I don't care.
Yeah. So
But
one
after
brief aside.
today, I will.
One thing I think that's worth noting is, and this is I think it's been in the headlines a bit. Mostly, Angry Joe's taken some time off, and this is something that we've kind of thrown around and always been amused at the reaction to. Is when you write a normal show or production assist a normal show.
Thank you.
Yeah. Don't want to get you in trouble. That happens in seasons, and when the season's over, you get a long break between season production. Most people side hustle or they work on independent projects. Joel, you're in the middle of that right now, right?
Yes.
So yeah, until your show's renewed, you just kind of do whatever.
My
No
independent
model.
project. Well, I mean, if I'm definitely like going around town interviewing for more sort of digital jobs. I'm trying to see what's out there. My current independent project is tomorrow. I'll be applying for unemployment.
Jesus Christ.
Everybody who ever works in TV apply. Like, I mean,
Really?
Yeah. I mean, top writers, showrunners go on unemployment for
God damn
sure.
it. State
Yeah.
of California. Jesus.
I mean,
Well, I don't have a
that's
job,
That's what
Lawrence.
you. Well, I mean, that's
Why
what,
am I paying taxes when you have a house? Like, Yeah.
You're paying for his house.
I'm
Great.
also paying
And I work
taxes.
every day. Bah.
What? What are you talking
I don't
about?
get seasonal breaks, Joel. You get to go on break
Sounds like
and
a
get paid
personal
for it.
decision. You could take a seasonal break.
Well,
guess
that's
you
the
could,
interesting
yeah.
thing. So,
I would much prefer to have a job right now than to not have a job. Let me put it that way. If
you left the one you. Never mind.
No, he didn't leave.
Yeah.
The season was over.
yeah,
No, I mean before that.
Oh, this one? You mean
You
this
left
job?
us, Joel, and I still resent you for
But
it.
I had another job lined up.
That is now over.
That is now
Well,
not a
that wasn't
thing
Joel's
anymore.
call though.
Yeah.
That was Papa Source nerd or whatever.
Oh, right.
Papasaurus. nerd.
Papasaurus nerd. That sounds like a cool band.
like a dinosaur.
They're back. Wait. So, oh man, another aside. I thought they retired the Now This branding, but they're still posting under that.
They retired the Now This Nerd branding on the Now This
Oh.
Nerd on the SourceFed Nerd Now This channel.
Gotcha.
So Now This still exists as a brand, but they're just not piggybacking onto another channel, which boy, we all told them not to do.
Sure. No, we've been in that position.
If you were to write a book on how not to reboot a YouTube channel,
Seriously.
I feel like that's the
I'd have
shows up on
The
Wikipedia.
problem is if I wrote that book, it would have a lot of valuable information for people who wouldn't want to read it.
That's true.
exactly.
I'm gonna say right now, Joel, speaking engagements.
Oh,
You should
Joel, you
should
should be
do
a
all these-
motivational speaker.
And you're like, take it from me, an uncredited writer.
You can be famous just like me. Production assistant Joel Rubin.
I'd
Anyway,
like to thank the Milwaukee Steelmakers Association for having me come speak at your trade dinner. Now to tell you a little bit about social media.
No, you're like, well, first I have to go because the bank closes in 5 minutes. And I gotta cash my unemployment.
let me reinforce how
those sandwiches
identifiable I am.
free?
And he jumps on the back of an ambulance. Right?
Someone get me another iced tea. Those are free refills.
Sometimes I buy $20 wine. Right, guys? Huh?
Imagine Joel's like Carl Weathers from Arrested Development.
I'm making a lot of stews these days.
Hey, pocket your per diem, baby. Craft services is free.
So maybe it's not the impossible wonderland that I made it out to be, but it isn't. I think it is worth noting that a lot of YouTube producers, people like Total Biscuit, Angry Joe, people that have been at the game, Boogie, have been at the game for a long time. That's a lot of work every day, and there's never a break.
Yeah.
you
true.
never get a vacation. You never get anything.
It's a job.
Yeah, but jobs have paid vacation.
Yeah, and that's the difference is that, and usually like those sorts of jobs are 7 days a week, and most normal jobs are 5. So that's why it's a little
But
different.
there are
Not trying to
trade-offs.
say the struggle's hard.
But there are trade-offs to everything. Like
Sure,
on a TV show, like working on a TV show. Look, let's be honest. This was a late night experiment that Disney is doing. I love, like, it's super fun, and I hope we get renewed for a second season. But I think it's the lowest budget show in their programming block. So it's not like I made $1 million working on this show, right? And so even though
$2 million.
it's great, I get time off right now, and like I'm working on some stuff on my own, but like. I'd rather have a job right now. Now, then there's the other aspect of you guys have a job and you get vacation time, right? And some of it's paid vacation time. Some of it you can, if you go over,
There is no over. It's unlimited.
it's unlimited. Well, there you go.
Changed that, yeah.
And then there's like actual YouTubers, unlike you guys, who work for themselves. The trade-off there is that they don't get any vacation time, but they own everything that they do.
Sure.
They're personally invested in their success. If they want to take a vacation, they can, and they
Make a video
they
about
do.
it.
and they do, and they'll make a video about it. But like their views might go down, but
That's
they
the thing,
own
yeah.
that, you know.
They do, but then I guess aside from the practicality of it, I'm fascinated by the blowback. Because Joe said, hey, I've been burning myself out, I'm going on vacation. And
People
I won't
flip.
say all, but a handful of very angry people are like, what the fuck? What you do isn't work. You're not allowed to walk away from it. How dare you? Like, there's, I think, I wouldn't say sizable, but it exists, a misunderstanding of the workload that goes on behind the scenes. And I imagine that's the same for television. You know, everybody thinks it's just a wonderland.
Yeah, I mean, it. Look, all things considered, it's a pretty like there are late nights. Like we had multiple days where we went over 12 hours, and it was. Oh no, we didn't. For union rules, we totally didn't. But
You're uncredited. They won't find you.
but like
You're off the grid, baby.
it can be exhausting, but it's also like it's exhausting in the way that sitting in front of a monitor and like watching stuff happen is exhausting. I found that when we were at Funhaus and Inside Gaming, the more upfront and the more honest we were about the behind the scenes stuff with the audience, the more they accepted. Like when we would say, hey, we're gonna have a couple of like in 3 weeks we're gonna have some videos, we're gonna have some days where we're not gonna have videos. In 2 weeks we're gonna have some days we're not gonna have videos. Next week we're going out of town for this thing, or like we're taking a break, so we're not gonna have videos. If you give them enough of a heads up, most people are really understanding about that. And I don't watch enough Angry Joe to know exactly how he sold his audience on his off time. if there was like a huge heads up, or like I'm doing this for my mental health, if it was anything beyond like a mention in a video or a single video on its own. But like, people are always going to be upset, and that's also part of the nature of, working on YouTube and having direct communication with your audience.
Well said, Joel.
Well, I also think you have to think about your audience, so I can kind of see it from the perspective.
All the kids in Springfield are SOBs.
They're all SOBs. That ought to quiet those SOBs. Imagine your job. Say you're a nurse or you're a veterinarian or something, and maybe it's an assistant job like that, and it's very low pay, and you're quite literally cleaning up shit all day, and you're getting shit on, literally and figuratively, and you're not crazy about your job, but part of your job, after you're done working these shifts that you have no control over, these are the times that are given to you, you like to unwind and you watch people online, and then they go, man, I'm taking some time off from playing video games, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't make any sense.
do you know what I go through?
Yeah.
And like going kind of back to what you were saying before, Lawrence, I'd rather do this job 7 days a week than the 3 or 4 days I worked in like retail or in like
But you're not.
working any other job that I had leading up to this point.
But you have a huge support staff here. Like a lot of these YouTubers, some of them have support staffs, but a lot of them don't have support staffs.
sure.
And what they don't have that a nurse has is union protections. What they don't have that a nurse has is like job benefits, like a 401k or like health insurance. They have to pay for their own health insurance. Like
They get Lamborghinis, bro.
But what I'm just saying is like
The nurses.
and I get somebody who works in sanitation or who works in retail or whoever like seeing a YouTuber, but I just feel like nobody has the experience of the other person, and so they don't know what it's like. They don't know the hardships that they actually do have.
Yeah,
Right.
but the difference is, with a nurse, nobody has the experience, and if a nurse complains about it, there aren't thousands of people saying, fuck you, I'm not going to give you any more money. And that's the difference with the YouTuber. And I'm not siding with the YouTuber at all. It's in the sense that if you think about it that way, your job depends on the audience.
Yeah.
Whereas with the nurse, their job depends on whether or not they do a good job as a nurse.
I feel like that's part of the unspoken agreement / contract with Satan you made when you signed up for a job where it's you could make short films and do little videos and like do that sort of stuff, but I feel like a lot of people who make online content, they're putting a part of their life out there. Mm-hmm. That's their moneymaker. They're making money as a personality.
They would say that's their choice, though.
Yeah.
Because it was. I mean, like, bottom line, it really was. Like, you could
You
get
don't like
training.
it, you can just walk away.
Yeah.
Go back to working at a library or whatever.
And I think, I mean,
Sounds nice.
I know a couple people recently who have walked away from YouTube. I think we all do, who have walked away from YouTube, and they're normal jobbing it now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still creative, good jobs that I think a couple of these people have taken, but they're jobs. They're not working for themselves anymore.
Yep, exactly.
Chip Jorbs.
And I think there is a certain exhaustion to it, to having to be beholden to an audience and stuff like that, especially with a YouTube audience, because you're constantly interacting with people, and I think it's a risk that you accept when you jump into this. You know.
No.
I don't think you're ever disillusioned as the fact is like, well, they'll understand if I leave for 3 weeks or 2 months or something. They may not. They can go other places, thousands of other places.
Kind of goes back to earlier what we were talking about. Is like if you're going to work in this sort of job, like kind of know what's relatable. Try to have just an ounce of empathy and go, what would someone who's not me? I mean, do that in everyday life. Really, if you any action in your life, try to think like don't overthink it, but like how does this affect other people?
I mean, I remember this was years ago. I was when we were at Machinima still. I was talking with one of our guys. His name is Chimney Swift, who is still on YouTube. And this was years ago, before there were a ton of creators who had like support staffs or anything like that. And he was going on vacation or maybe going to get married. I can't remember. But he had prepped like 2.5 or 3 weeks worth of videos. He killed himself for a month or two before he went on vacation to make sure he had enough stuff to schedule out to go out live while he was gone. Like, that is also, I mean, like, maybe you can go on vacation, but you kind of have to kill yourself before you do that.
Well,
and there are ways.
We do that every holiday.
Yeah.
Every single holiday when we take a week off or 2 weeks off or whatever, we don't actually take those. We just end up working double.
Yeah.
So
We get time off though. That's always nice.
we do get time off, but we work twice as hard to get there.
Yeah, and it's always funny because then it's always the same thing. We come back and then we like forget how to do things. We're like, how do we record video?
Well, that's another thing. When you come back from that, you're out of content.
Yeah.
So then you have to work twice as hard to come back. Yeah. It's really interesting. It's an interesting grind that I knew from television long before YouTube. So.
When you go out of town now, do you just have enough content to get you through like Monday, or do you preload to like Wednesday or Thursday of the week that you're back so that you've got some some content, so you don't have to like kill yourself to get stuff out for the immediate next day.
We're a little further ahead now,
Yeah.
so it's like we don't have to worry too much about. Whereas before, when it was only like 6 of us, 5 of us, or whatever, that's when we would be like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, no, I remember. Like we would come in and you would just like hit record.
Yeah, it was really tough. But it's easier now that we have more people.
Yeah.
That we're a larger company, or a larger company within a company.
Well, if there's one thing we can learn, the more people make tasks easier. So why not let someone else help you dress? And
Sorry.
to that extent, Stitch Fix is partnering with this podcast to offer you an interesting new way to clad yourself in stylish clothing. So, like everything in today's world, Stitch Fix is a service that will send you cool things in the mail in a box. But these cool things are clothes. It's actually a pretty cool process. You go to Stitch Fix, you tell them your sizes, your style. They just have they'll give you like a lot of pictures, and it's like, which one do you like? And then you just fill out like a cool little quiz. And then
I did it, and they sent me shorts, Lawrence.
I did it. They sent me shorts too. In fact, I'm wearing them today.
Yeah,
You'll see them
sent
in
me
just a moment.
shorts.
Those are very, very nice shorts.
Yeah, little chino shorts. I'm getting in the chino game. I never wore those before, but now I'm realizing this is how you look like a somewhat stylish adult and still wear shorts. It's true. You can do both. And Stitch Fix is the way to go to do it. So shipping is free both ways. So essentially, they send you a box with 5 items in it, curated by a stylist. You try them on. You see which ones you want to keep, and then you mail the rest back in a prepaid mailing bag, basically. You don't have to pay for shipping either way. The way it kind of works is the stylist will charge a $20 styling fee to pick out the items and put them in the box. But if you decide to buy anything, that $20 is applied as credit towards that purchase. So essentially, if you get anything, the styling is free, and so is the shipping. So it's just a cool way to kind of try on different things, maybe step outside your boundaries a little bit. And yeah, you can get they say get your fix is what it's called. You can do that monthly, quarterly, whenever you like. So it's not subscription based. So if you're fine on clothes for the time being, you can just order 1 or 2, try out some things, and just be like, okay, I'm good. Or you can schedule it week to week and always be trying new things and seeing what they have for you. As I previously mentioned, make sure I don't wobble into anybody. Got some stylish shorts.
Whoa!
Yes,
I thought you were showing a lot of leg today.
fabrics are good, and your calf will be this rockin' if you buy their shorts. That's my
know.
promise to you.
Look at that calf.
It's a HR nightmare.
Yeah, they're not
Too much style.
They're not in the room. Yeah. So you're getting sued for being too stylish.
Yeah.
Well, consider me guilty.
Pack your things.
Please pack your
Stitch Fix also sent me a pair of jeans, which, given how rockin' my thighs and calves are, it's actually hard for me to find jeans that fit well, but these were perfect. That nice stretchy material.
I think
So
Stitch Fix sent me 5 things, and I kept 3
Wow.
on the first try.
That's a
which
good
I was
batch.
very surprised. Like, I did not think that was going to happen, and I kept 3 of them. So.
yeah, I liked my first one. I kept 2 of the items, I think, sent the other 3 back. But I was actually impressed with what they picked and the quality of the clothes, so I went ahead and ordered another one. It's sitting at home for me right now. Can't wait to crack that open. But if you'd like to get started, please go to stitchfix.com/dudesoup. That's spelled about how it sounds. STITCHFIX.com/dudesoup. And you can get 25% off if you decide to keep all 5 items. That doesn't mean you have to, but a discount is available for you. So thank you, Stitch Fix. Once more, that's stitchfix.com/dudesoup to put some nice things on your body. That's my advice to you today. I guess moving on from there, I've got a bit of a mind freak for you guys. I want to throw this out.
I love mind freaks. When Lawrence says
Yeah.
mind freak, it's always it is a true
Oh yeah,
mind freak.
your mind's gonna get freaked. And Joel, I think you'll resonate with this a
Let me
bit.
get situated here.
Get ready to get mind freaked.
So I can't. Oh yeah, I was playing an MMO, and MMOs as they are, typically it's just a whole laundry list of bullshit to do for a bunch of NPCs. And it's like, hey, go find my fish. Go iron this shirt. Go find me some rocks. And it's like, okay, because you do it for the
I'm glad I'm
experience.
paying $15 a month for this.
Kind of, yeah. And it was like, okay, so my reward is experience and gold, but mostly experience because you're trying to level. And I remember thinking, ever since I played RPGs as a young child, pre-Disney XD days, if you can imagine, I remember wondering when in my life I'd be given a quest in the same way. Like if I was just going to Target and someone just was like, "Oh, hey, stranger," and I was like, "What?" And I left my book in the back of Target. Can you go fetch it for me?
Like, I have $4.
Yeah, I mean,
A
that's
quest!
a quest in itself. But I remember promising myself as a youth that if that happened, I would say yes, and I would do it because it's a quest and that's what I do. And then that's when I realized, like, wait a minute, in real life, why would I do that? And then the answer came to me is, well, I would do it to have done it. I'd do it for the experience. And that's when I realized. That's when the mind freak hit me.
Oh, because you get XP.
Yeah, you do, but it's like, it's two different meanings of the word, but they're both experience. So in real life, I do it just to have the story, to be able to tell it. In a game, you do it for the numerical experience, the idea that you're progressing towards some goal or getting more enriched as a human being.
But, all right, go ahead.
I don't know. The mind freak is, it's interesting how the word experience has been co-opted as a sort of video game economy, but the meaning is still true. It's just a different shade of it.
I would ask you, if you were to do that in real life and you did it for the experience, you would be leveling up certain skills in your life, and they're just real world, skills. Whether that's empathy or I don't know, not.
I mean, like knowledge.
Knowledge,
Yeah,
sure.
knowledge of the layout of a
social,
target.
I mean, like
Charisma.
Social graces, charisma.
Yeah, exactly.
Barding.
Yeah,
Yeah, bard.
Pardon me, could you play me a song on your lute that you were carrying around?
Say stranger, favors with the tail
then you
while
get
you're
beat
waiting
up.
for the bus.
Yeah.
In our lives, we never truly have to barter. You ever think about that?
That's not true.
That is
No.
I
absolutely
literally
not
bartered
true.
last week.
Who did you? All right. Well, I don't know any of you. Who did you barter with, and why?
I went to Starbucks last week and I brought my sweet little puppy dog Billy with me.
You can say The Office.
Nice one.
Oh, jeez.
And when I was there, I wanted to tie her up, but there were it was a Starbucks I don't usually go to in an area of town I'm not usually in. So I don't. So I didn't.
Oh, satellite office.
And
Someone rearranged my desk.
and Dana's very protective of our dog, so she actually has asked me not to bring Billy places and tie her up outside.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to tie her up outside of my non-home Starbucks.
Oh my god.
And so
Talk about the Rooster Teeth podcast.
So I bartered with another dog owner.
Sorry, go ahead. Continue the story. Everybody is tuned out at this point. Sorry.
Keep going. I want to hear how you
I
barter.
want to hear you barter.
So I bartered with another dog owner who was also like standing around like kind of looking confused about what they should do. And I said, look, if you watch my dog when I go inside, I'll watch your dog when you go inside. And I did that, and so I went and I bought my coffee, and then when he went inside and bought his coffee, he brought me out a snack. He said, "Thank you for watching my dog."
That was a quest.
Yeah, and it was a quest and a test, and I failed the test.
Yeah, you
so I
didn't get
buy
him
him a
shit.
treat.
Yeah, you're a dick.
But it was like real world bartering of like haggling about to get to have an exchange of some
Yeah,
sort.
absolutely. I was actually going to say probably the biggest example of bartering is buying a car. So when you go out and buy
Okay,
a car,
yeah.
you immediately have to negotiate, and it's
We call it haggling.
That's negotiation. I
Or
wouldn't say
you're
bartering
negotiating.
though.
well,
You're haggling over money.
You're not
Isn't a true
trading,
barter
I mean-
non-monetary?
yeah.
It's like, I'm going to give you the
Yeah.
casserole
The
of
exchange
enchiladas
of-
because
I
you're
mean, that's
taking care of my mom.
money is exchanged for goods and services.
I don't know how you paid
Yeah,
for your car.
sure.
I paid for mine with bales of hay.
Yeah, I dug a
One
well.
very healthy goat.
But either way, you have to do that sort of thing all the time.
Like no interest for 3 years. Like, or yeah, my firstborn. Thoughts?
Well, there's also you do that like when you're renting or
gonna be
when you're
45.
Yeah, I mean-
you can
I
Sexual
bartered
favors.
when I was renting. We bartered. My roommate and I told our landlady that we would do the entire renovation of the apartment if she got us a new air conditioner.
there you go.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. I think as long as it's like non-monetary, so you're like, well, I'll give you my beaver pelt for your
Oh wow, that was where
your
I was going.
buffalo stomach.
I mean, I don't know what the difference is though. Money can still be exchanged for those things, so it's kind of like
Intensely sexual.
either way.
If you think
Money is
about
a stand-in for those things.
Yeah, if you think
sure,
about
exactly, I
it,
know
money
it
is it's what we make of it.
How many beaver pelts do you think you get for a $1 bill these days?
A fortnight's worth.
I mean, not many.
Yeah.
Only like a quarter of a beaver.
I would kind of beavers are not endangered. They're not endangered, are they? Not yet.
Beavers?
With a lot of luck and some help, we could get them endangered sometime
Okay.
soon in our lifetimes.
And then they'll skyrocket in price.
yeah.
That's called cornering the market.
The
Selling all
beaver
the
pelts?
beavers. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can charge whatever you want for them. All right, let's rounding up on time here. We need to get some hard netting in.
Oh,
Ooh, baby.
you need
yeah,
to pause
so-
this.
Yeah, you can go ahead and pause. That's fine.
There you go.
So, Joel, just for your sake,
Cool looking
let's-
game.
Last time I was here, we hard netted Big Knee Lover.
Yeah, Big Knee Lever is a golden treasure.
Yep,
Big Knee Lever resides in the Valhalla of hard netters.
that is my understanding. I did a little bit of research before I came onto your show.
Huh. Then you're
Did you see
familiar with Ivan
You saw
Doran?
Ivan
Funhaus.
Doran? You saw this guy?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
He's great. Pew and Pie and Blazing Saddles. He's trying with the SEO there.
He is. He's been
3X.
trying to tap into the YouTube
People
market.
sometimes comment broad.
He does. He has some
sometimes
commentary
straight.
videos too. He's got a pleasing mannerism about him. I'll
Does he? Is it pleasing?
I'm feeling
I would say
I think it's
so.
more creepy.
I'm not
Titles
saying
are
Yeah.
similar for sure.
Rimini. I got that YouTube red. I'm not used to existing without it. Come on.
He's got kind of a Norman Osborn, almost unhinged thing going.
His framing isn't the best either.
I dare you to say that to him in person at VidCon.
It starts to sound like a balloon.
There he is doing his thing.
Impressive. I mean,
All right.
it was him and Winslow from Police Academy.
Academy,
Yeah,
Boy.
that's about it.
Okay. So this other one. This is
Apparently he has bad breath.
This is a.
Yeah, he does.
Michael Winslow.
We
yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
We confirmed that.
I think
Like you use your mouth for a living.
Okay,
Chew some
so-
fucking gum.
it is going up against Passion Dust, which before I reveal to you what it is, I want you guys to guess what Passion Dust is.
I at least had to stand up to see.
I'm gonna disqualify myself because I've looked at the picture for too long already.
This
What
one?
do you mean?
Yeah.
That's not giving anything away.
Is it really not?
No.
Oh.
Go ahead and guess.
What is passion dust?
So is it when you put something up your vagina?
Jesus, I didn't think you.
Sparkles, you put up your vagina.
I did not think you were gonna nail it right off the top because yes, that's exactly what
Whoa!
It's sprinkles you put in your vagina?
it is. It is a capsule of glitter
Elise.
you cram in your vagina.
I think
Elise, how did you know that?
because I think that
I'm not just an investor. I'm also a member. All
I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an
Passion Dust intimacy
entrepreneur.
capsules.
Intimacy capsules.
right. So wait, what led you to believe that it was dust?
I knew this was a thing, and I think I was looking at something about it recently, and I was like, this seems really bad for your health. If you're a woman, you should not be putting stuff like this up your vagina.
Yeah.
What do you know?
Glitter in my bag.
So what they say?
I mean, I was just thinking this to myself
Oh,
when I
oh,
saw
okay.
a product similar
that
to
a butt?
this.
Well, I don't know
That's
if we
getting
can-
awfully close.
Yeah, that'll
Yeah,
reach that,
that was those were pubes.
Were they?
I don't know.
I don't know.
So is it literally
Try some
glitter
scroll.
in a capsule?
So
What
hold on,
is
hold on,
it?
hold on, hold on.
It is a glitter capsule
So you
that
put this.
you cram it in your vag. If like the lining breaks down, and then you just have a
gelatin.
burst of glitter waiting. And so when you start to when you get a little moist, a little wet,
when you queef?
it starts
Oh.
to it kind of spreads
And
around.
you start to ooze.
Yeah, if you're gentlemen,
The secret of the
I want glitter on my dick.
if your fella engages in digital sex, he gets it all over his hands.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
over
whoa,
his
whoa!
face.
Hold on a minute.
What?
I want to hear from Elise how this
sorry,
works.
sorry.
She's the one that knows.
That's true.
I mean, that's my. I think Lawrence has it.
He nailed it.
I think he's got it. Yeah, that the acidity of the vagina. The average vaginal acidity is about pH 4, I think. So the acidity would break down the cap lining of the capsule, and then the sparkles would mix with whatever
But wouldn't it come out of you
ooze,
though?
fluid.
secretion.
Wouldn't it
you
come out
have
like
if-
all over your underwear and
Woman,
stuff?
well, I mean, I imagine this is supposed to be in
Post-underwear
during-
environment.
This is a sexual thing. So like you're making out with a guy, and then you're like, "Hang on, I gotta go to the bathroom and
Yeah.
put my passion dust in me."
That doesn't make any sense.
You know what guys love? Glitter everywhere. Guys love having glitter all over their
I think
body.
you keep it under your tongue, and then when you know it's about to go down, you slip it out, and you.
I think it's good for like birthday parties if you build up a nice little a quiff and you're like, "Happy birthday, son."
Yeah. Well, and also when your woman's aroused, then her body starts producing
Yeah.
that
Passion
level
dust?
of vaginal
Natural passion
I-
dust.
Water slide.
I have a question. Does this product purport to just be cosmetic, or does it say that there are some sort of
Advantages?
like
Yeah, no, we're on it.
erotic promises that this product
Based
is
on
made
how it feels like most of this site is defending itself.
Is it an aphrodisiac?
It's purely visual. I
Yeah.
don't think that there is any. They don't purport that it will physiologically change your intercourse in any way.
I
Except
don't
for adding
think you
glitter
should
to
use
my
this.
penis.
Elise says she doesn't. That you shouldn't use it.
Glitter all
I
over
did
your
a photo
dick.
shoot with Adam's wife, lovely wife Jess, and she put glitter on my eyelids, and that took me 2 days to get it off.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine putting that on your vagina.
Oh, why does it smell good and taste sweet? So they do.
Oh, it
flavor
tastes
So that's
good.
something. All right, well that's good.
Is it edible?
Can you imagine?
So like if I'm getting down to downtown.
Joel shows up to dinner with glitter all over his face.
Nothing, honey.
Or I don't know. That could be like you were having an affair and you went down on some girl who had passion dust.
And
That
let's be
would
clear,
suck.
women
Yeah.
don't use this. It's always girls
Like,
that use
they're like,
this.
yeah, they're like,
Oh.
did you blow a leprechaun? Like what?
Well, so here's
What is on you?
on the subject of it not going away. They've got you covered there. If you trust your mate, if you're sure that you're the number one person in your lover's life, then what difference does it make if they leave a little glitter in their shorts when they leave the house?
Not shorts.
Who's gonna see? No
like I
one
said-
other than you should need an explanation
They're all-
anyway, right? Anyway, it does work both ways. Guys, if your lady leaves the house or comes home sparkling,
God.
she hasn't been with you, you may have a few questions of
I
your own.
love when they have to justify their product.
It's that they're suggesting that you use it like a consumer like stealing ink tag.
Well, it's like tagging an animal,
Right, yeah.
and then knowing where they were.
I want to do
Holy
like a
shit.
magic trick where I like put it on my vagina and then I go like, and I spit glitter at everyone.
Passion dust is not being absorbed into your body, nor is it penetrating. As we have said before, we are
Well,
using
what
dangerous
happens to
cuts
it?
of arts and crafts glitter. The grade of sparkle being used is non-toxic and 0.008 or smaller in size, and your vaginal fluids, in essence, create a protective barrier around the tiny particles, preventing any dangerous
No,
penetration into your vagina.
wrong.
I don't know if I believe that.
Unless your,
Someone
unless your vagina is more of a desert, you should be fine.
more of a
Literal
desert.
quote.
Wow. Burn.
Wow, they are.
So the
Burning you.
key to hard netting is to figure out which of these could exist only online or is harder
it's
than
just-
net or
it's just more of like
It's a really loose.
It's a very loose term, but like James always says, a pure internet, meaning like it's kind of like it's all about passion. It's all about, and that's why it's called passion dust, by the way. But it's all about like sort of what is this person doing that makes it that makes them passionate about the ridiculous thing that they're doing, but it's on the internet.
Who's netting harder? Is it the creator and purveyor of Passion Dust or Ivan Doran?
Or
who
Ivan
squeaks?
Doran, the one that
I
sings
feel like they might run this on like Disney XD.
Passion Dust
Like this could be
our
an
number one
ad.
sponsor was Passion.
Yeah.
for the boys and I.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Parker from
wish.
Parker Plays.
I
use
wish we get that
dust.
Passion Dust money.
I'd stick this up my vagina.
I wish that we had passion dust for our urethras, so that we could pee like you were talking about earlier with the wine.
I mean, you can fit it.
My feeling about this is that Ivan Doran is a harder netter, and here's why.
Uh-huh.
And listen, this is your show, and you
No,
call
you
the
get a
audible.
vote. You get a vote.
But Passion Dust feels like any other like sexual aid or tool that was sold out of some like snake oil salesman's briefcase in like early 1900s. You didn't need internet to come up with some bullshit thing that you stick in your vagina. You know, I would argue that the Ivan Doran wouldn't exist without YouTube. Without everything that's online
what you're
currently.
saying, yeah.
Passion Dust, like, that's a product of rave culture and Kesha more than
Well,
anything else.
I bet if you
What
search,
year do you think it is?
I bet there's like
19-
glittery lube
97?
that's already
I'm
on
sure
the
there's glittery lube.
market.
There's gotta be
edible underwear. There's
Yeah.
there's so many other. I'm with Joel on this. My vote is for Ivan, and I do
Okay,
think I think there are so many just sexual accoutrements out there already that like I'm not
changing your
you know
Don't get me wrong.
surprised.
I like it. And what's hard netting about it is that the internet brought this to me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known about it. But this could exist without the internet.
And I think like just with like so much of there are these societal expectations about women and their bodies to think that now to give women this new pressure of like now you got to put sparkles in your vagina. It doesn't feel like anything new. It doesn't feel like
get
any
to, not have
any
to.
different than women being told that they have to like have their pubic hair made into a heart shape or
It feels like the kind of thing that all of the fancy pants people in the Capital District of the Hunger Games would put on their pussies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Bruce Adam, where do you? Where
I'm
do your
not going
votes
to be.
lie?
I'm not going to be contrary on this one. Because I think Joel is right, and also I wanted to go with Elise on whatever she guessed, since she's a woman, and she would know better than I would.
Fair.
And also
How progressive
she brought up,
of you.
Well, she brought up a fantastic point. There's already glittery lube. I'm almost positive there is. I think I've seen it. So Passion Dust is a little. They're a little behind on
Johnny
that
come
one.
lately.
Bruce, I was once told that if a woman were to put garlic up her vagina, later she'd be able to taste it in her mouth.
Do you know that for sure?
I don't. I've never put garlic in my
I
vagina.
have garlic
That-
at home. You want some?
I would. I can't imagine that would. Wouldn't you burn yourself?
I feel like you should try it just to see if it works.
Like I'm a field reporter for Dude Soup.
Coming at you live in the streets.
Here I
I
go.
don't taste garlic yet.
Take. Oh wait. No.
Nope.
No.
That's more of a shallot than a garlic.
So I
Taking
will.
it to the streets.
I will say, I don't think you could ever properly advertise Passion Dust on television
Oh, they have
because
return policy.
I feel like censors wouldn't allow it because like you'd have to describe it, and I know you kind of get away with like Tampax and like they pour the blue liquid onto the thing, and as a kid you're like, what the fuck? What's the blue liquid? I don't get it. Oh, that's vag blood. But you figure that out when you get older. With Passion
Oh, I see, I
Dust,
see what you're
I feel like the only way to advertise it is the internet, which makes it actually a bit more pure on the internet. The thing is, though, Ivan Doran doesn't discriminate this is only for women. What
Oh,
about
yeah.
men? If you want glitter to come out of their butthole, that's not advertised. then.
Actually,
It's
you
all-
could put passion dust in your butthole.
I think
Does it say that?
Yeah, I think
As long as you got a moist butthole,
Men
I
can
think.
use it.
well, but you can have a moist butthole with lube. That's easy.
Yeah.
Not a problem then.
I don't know. I feel like they're way too much on the defensive, not the dick.
Do you think they took this picture specifically for this website, or is this a stock image?
It's a little blurry, so I think it's a stock.
I
image.
think they just stole that right off
if
of the
you
internet.
if you right click and do search Google for
Oh yeah.
I don't think
just-
that works
oh
the
it doesn't work on Steam.
I
Never
just
mind.
Steam
searched.
browser.
Anyway, I go back to Ivan. I
All right.
default.
Ivan Doran swept it. Sorry,
Yeah.
Passion Dust.
I just
Be
searched
a little more
Yeah,
passionate.
at least
next time.
search something.
glitter lube,
Yeah.
and the top
It definitely exists.
the shopping result I got was from Walmart.
Yep.
Walmart unicorn spit donut flavored lubricant.
Ew.
Doesn't that sound?
Walmart?
I don't know if you're
That's
gonna
shocking.
if you're gonna finger a girl at Hogwarts Land or whatever, you use that. And you're like if you're totally cosplaying,
Oh,
you're
I
trying to
gotcha.
role play, and you're like,
Unicorn spit donut flavored lube.
yeah. We're like, I got this at Bingy's and down at the shop.
Yeah.
Crops.
Yeah, I want let me finger that fanny.
And then
In Uterine Alley.
God damn it. Oh, we're out of time. Shit.
Oh, at
what
least
a
he's
good
going
way
to say something more about vaginas.
No, I was just gonna say that they sparkle in Twilight.
Oh,
Somebody made a Twilight themed glitter lube that says "For the vampire in you."
Oh.
I thought that was
That's
good.
cool.
That's clever
I
at
like that.
least. Yeah.
See, Passion Dust isn't anything new.
That's all the time we have for this week.
It's a capsule. That's all.
Guys, it's been a real pleasure. Thanks for inviting me to be on your hit show.
You're not
Dude,
done.
Yep. We have the post show coming up. Thank you,
Oh,
Bruce.
fucking hell.
What'd you think this was? If you're
you're
here all
watching-
day.
If you're watching live, stay tuned. We'll be back in like 5 minutes with a post show. If you're unfamiliar with that, we just look at some fan art, we read some comments, we field questions live, serious questions about topics of serious importance, like when it's legal to bang people in the butt.
Oh, boy.
that was a hot
that's right.
topic
I
Okay.
forgot about that.
last week. So we'll be back soon. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. If you're watching on, yeah, you can go use a
gotta
bathroom.
pee.
Sorry. Yeah,
Me
go
too.
for it.
I'm going to go with you.
But as usual, I hope this doesn't sound insincere due to the frequency that I do it, but I do thank you for listening. Whether you're on YouTube, listening to audio, what have you, I appreciate it. This is fun for us to do. At least it's fun for me anyway. So thank you for that. We only get to do it because you're there listening. And I hope that you continue to do so. So if you're watching live, please stay tuned for the post show. If you're not watching live, check out the show on roosterteeth.com. Consider becoming a first member, then you get to watch it live. But either way, regardless, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for listening and glistening.
Ew.
Ugh. To go back to this, Lawrence, I think that those numbers seem small, but I will say I know that people always like to say, they make those comparisons of, well, if you're worried about being eaten by a shark, the likelihood of that happening to you is 300 times or 300 million times